I woke up to silence so sharp it felt like a threat. My arm reached for Eli out of habit, and my hand hit cold sheets instead. His side of the bed was made to neatly. Corners tucked like a hotel. My throat tightened. Eli, my voice came out. Thin, babe, nothing. I sat up fast, heart pounding. The room looked normal. But it didn't feel normal. My phone was on the nightstand. No missed calls, no new texts. I checked again like the screen might change if I stared hard enough. I called him straight to voicemail. Hey, I said, trying to sound calm, like I wasn't already breaking. Call me back, please. I called again. Voicemail. My mind jumped to last night. Like it had been waiting to punish me. Eli standing in my kitchen, quiet, hands in his pockets. Me talking too fast. It's fine that I slept in the same bed as Jace, I had said, like I was asking him to accept it as normal. Eli had blinked once. Fine. He'd repeated, almost tasting the word. It was late, I'd added. I was drunk. I didn't want to drive. He'd looked at me for a long second, like he was measuring something inside me. Then he'd nodded. Okay, he'd said. That okay sounded polite, almost gentle, and somehow worse than yelling. Now, my chest felt hollow, like something had been pulled out. I slid out of bed and went to the closet. Ellie's hoodie was gone, the gray one he always stole back when I wore it. No, I whispered. No. I grabbed my phone and texted him. Me. Where are you? Me. Please answer. Me. I'm sorry, okay? Just talk to me. The typing bubble never appeared. I paced to the kitchen, then back. Then stopped in the hallway like I could block the truth from entering. I told myself stupid things. Maybe he went to get coffee, maybe his phone died. Maybe he needed air. But Eli didn't do air. Eli did routine. Eli did control. I called again, louder this time. Like volume could force him to pick up. Voicemail. I slammed my palm against the wall. Then instantly felt guilty, like I'd hurt someone else. I told myself, just think. I opened our chat and scrolled up. Last message from him was yesterday morning. Eli, dinner tonight. Me, yes, I miss you. Eli, good. Good, like he already owned the ending. My phone buzzed and my heart leaped until I saw it was Jace. Morning. You alive? I stared at the words until my eyes burned. Eli is gone. I said out loud to the empty apartment, he's actually gone, and for the first time. I wondered if I'd just watched him disappear in real time and called it fine. I didn't knock. I shoved Jace's doorbell like it owed me money. The door swung open. And there he was in sweatpants, hair messy, smile easy. Like my life wasn't on fire. Mara, he said, damn, it's early. Where's Eli? I pushed past him. Did he call you? Did he text you? Jace blinked like I'd asked where the moon went. No. Why would he? Because he disappeared. I snapped. He was in my bed and now he's gone. Jace let out a small laugh. He didn't disappear. He left. That's different. My stomach twisted. Don't laugh. He lifted his hands. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just look. He's dramatic. I turned and froze. Tessa was on his couch, legs crossed, phone in her hand. Her eyes met mine. Sharp and unreadable. You're here, I said, voice flat. Tessa's mouth tightened. I came to check on you. Jace said you stayed over. You talked about me, I said. Jace scoffed. We're allowed to talk about my boyfriend vanishing. I stepped closer to him. You think this is funny? He shrugged. I think Eli needs to man up. Tessa shot him a look. Don't say that. Jace leaned back against the counter like he was hosting a show. He hears you slept in my bed. And he runs. That's on him. My hands shook. I told him it was fine. Tessa's eyebrows lifted. You said that. It was late. I said, fast. I was drunk. I didn't want to drive. I slept on the edge. Nothing happened. Jay smirked. See, nothing happened. Tessa's voice stayed calm, but it cut. Then why did you say it like a challenge? I stared at her. What? She stood up slowly. You didn't say, I'm sorry. You said, it's fine, like he was the problem for feeling anything. That's not what I meant, I said, but my throat felt tight. He didn't even argue. He just said okay. Jace rolled his eyes because he was playing silent punishment. Classic. Stop, Tessa hissed. Jace stepped toward me, softer now. Mara, look at me. Ellie's always been like that, quiet, judgmental, acting like he's above mess. He's not above mess, I said. He doesn't yell. Exactly, Jace said. He punishes. He disappears so you beg, don't beg. My phone was still in my hand. I held it up. I called him 10 times. Tessa's gaze dropped to the screen. Did he block you? I don't know, I whispered. It goes to voicemail. Jace shrugged again. Then give it a day. Day. I stared at him. He took his hoodie. Jace's smile twitched. Okay. So he packed a little tantrum bag. Big deal. Tessa stepped closer to me, lowering her voice. Mara, tell me the truth. Did anything happen? No, I said. Too quick. No, I swear. Tessa didn't look convinced. Then why do you sound like you're convincing yourself? I swallowed hard. Because he's gone. I turned to leave and Tessa grabbed my wrist, nails cool against my skin. Mara, she whispered. Close enough that Jace couldn't hear. Why did you tell him it was fine? Nina was sitting on our couch when I got home, one knee up. Mug in her hands, she didn't ask how I was. She just watched me pace like I was trying to outrun my own thoughts. He still hasn't answered. I blurted, he's gone, Nina, like gone. Nina took a slow sip. Sit, I can't. I waved my phone. It goes to voicemail. He's not even reading my texts, or he is, she said. And he's choosing not to reply. That hit like a slap. Why are you being like this? Because you need someone to be like this. Nina set the mug down. Do you want the truth, or do you want him back? I stopped mid-step. My voice came out smaller. Both. Nina's eyes didn't soften. Pick one. I sank onto the armchair. Fingers digging into the fabric. I told him about Jace. I didn't hide it. Nina tilted her head. And you told him it was fine. I flinched. Tessa said that too, because it's true, Nina said. You didn't say, I messed up. You said, deal with it. I didn't mean it like that, I muttered. I was scared he'd overreact. Nina snorted. So you tried to control his reaction. Congrats. My phone buzzed. My heart jumped out. It was another text from Jace. Jace, you okay? Tessa said you looked sick. I didn't answer. Nina reached for her own phone. I found something. What? I leaned forward. She turned her screen toward me. It was a post in our building's community chat, a blurry security still, Eli in the lobby, hood up. A small bag in his hand, the timestamp read 3:12 a.m. under it. A neighbor wrote, anyone know if this guy is okay? He looked broken. My mouth went dry. That's him, Nina nodded. He left in the middle of the night. He didn't say anything. My voice cracked. He didn't even wake me. Nina's tone stayed steady. He didn't want a scene. Or he didn't want you to talk him out of it. I stared at the photo until it blurred. Broken people don't just walk away, I whispered. They do, Nina said, all the time. I shook my head. Jace says Eli is being dramatic. Nina leaned forward. Stop letting Jace name your reality. He's my best friend, I said automatically. Nina's eyes narrowed. He's too involved. I bristled. He didn't do anything. Nina pointed at my phone. Then why are you defending him instead of finding Eli? I opened my mouth, then closed it. Because if I admitted Jace might be part of this, I'd have to admit I helped him by calling it fine. Nina's voice softened just a little. Start checking facts, Mara, not feelings. I stared at the screenshot again. At Ellie's face turned slightly away, like he couldn't stand being seen, and inside me, something thin and sharp finally cracked. Asterisk. At work, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. Every time my phone lit up, my breath caught like it was a lifeline. It was never him. Cass from accounting passed my desk and frowned. You look like you haven't slept. I'm fine. I lied. My phone rang, unknown number. I answered too fast. Eli, a man's voice, smooth and controlled. Mara. My spine went stiff. Who is this? This is Rook. A pause. Ellie's brother. My heart slammed into my ribs. Where is he? He's safe, Mr. Rook said. Safe where? I demanded. Another pause. Not with you. Anger surged. Don't do that. Don't talk like I'm a danger. I'm not accusing, he said. I'm confirming. I stood up, pacing behind my chair. Did he tell you to call me? He didn't, Mr. Rook replied. He wouldn't. He's proud, then. Why are you calling? Because someone is feeding him a story, Mr. Rook said, calm as ice. And stories can kill relationships faster than truth. My throat tightened. I told him the truth. Did you? He asked. I swallowed. I told him I slept in the same bed as Jace. Nothing happened. Silence. Then Mr. Rook said, my brother doesn't do drama, Mara, he does decisions. I pressed my fingers to my forehead. He just left. No note, no message. That's his version of mercy, Mr. Rook said. He exits before he humiliates himself by asking for answers. Stop talking like you know me, I snapped. I know patterns. He replied, and I know my brother. He doesn't vanish unless he feels cornered. My voice dropped. I didn't corner him. You told him it was fine, Mr. Rook said. That's a corner. It tells him his pain is not allowed. My chest burned. What do you want from me? A meeting. He said, 1 hour. Cafe on 9th, noon. I'm at work. I whispered. I assumed. He said, go anyway. The way he said it made my stomach turn. Why should I trust you? Because I'm the only person speaking to you right now, he answered. I hated that he was right. At noon, I sat across from Mr. Rook in a cafe that smelled like burnt sugar. He looked like Eli if Eli had sharpened himself into a weapon. He slid a folded paper toward me. Read. I opened it and my breath stopped. A timeline. My night. Times, locations, even details I never told anyone. 11:18 p.m. Jace's apartment. 1:07 a.m. You text Eli, I'm safe. 2:41 a.m. Eli arrives at your place. My hands went numb. How do you have this? Mr. Rook watched me carefully. That's the question you should be asking yourself. I looked up. Are you saying Jace? Mr. Rook leaned in, voice low. Is your best friend willing to destroy you to keep you? Asterisk, I didn't go to therapy because I believed in healing. I went because I didn't trust my own memories anymore. Dr. Sato's office was quiet in a way that made me feel exposed. She sat across from me, notebook untouched, eyes steady. Tell me what happened, she said. I clasped my hands so tight. My fingers hurt. Eli left. He disappeared. Start earlier, she said. I inhaled. I slept at my best friend's place, Jace, in his bed, but nothing happened. Dr. Sato didn't react. How many times have you said nothing happened today? I blinked. I don't know, Count, she said. I swallowed. A lot. Why? She asked. Because people think it means something, I snapped. Then instantly regretted. The tone, sorry, I didn't cheat. Dr. Sato's voice stayed calm. What do you remember? And what do you assume? That question split me open. I remember drinking, I said slowly. I remember Jace putting a blanket over me. I remember waking up and my shoes were off. Dr. Sato nodded. And what do you assume? I assume I stayed on my side, I whispered. I assume Jace didn't try anything. Do you trust him? She asked. I hesitated. Yes. Dr. Sato tilted her head. Do you trust yourself? The air felt heavy. I don't know. I stared at my hands. Eli asked me why I didn't sleep on the couch. I told him the bed was easier. Dr. Sato's eyes didn't move. Was it? My throat tightened. It was warm. Warm how? She asked. I flinched. Like I didn't have to be alone. Dr. Sato let the silence stretch until I filled it with truth. I hate being alone, I admitted. Eli is steady, but he feels far away sometimes. Jace is always there. He makes me feel wanted. Dr. Sato's voice softened, but it still hit. So you kept both? No, I said, too fast. I didn't. You did, she said gently. Maybe? Not on purpose, but functionally. Tears burned behind my eyes. Eli makes me feel safe and Jace? She asked. He makes me feel chosen, I whispered. Dr. Sato nodded once, like that answered everything. Say the sentence you don't want to say. I shook my head. I can't. Yes, you can, she said. Say it. My voice broke. I kept Eli because he was steady, and I kept Jace because he was a backup. The words landed like stones. I covered my mouth as tears spilled. Dr. Sato handed me tissues. That doesn't make you evil, she said, but it does make you responsible. When I left her office, the hallway felt too bright. My phone was in my hand before I realized it. A new message request, a known account. The text was short. He didn't disappear. He was pushed. My skin went cold. Like the world had shifted 1 inch and I could finally feel the drop. Asterisk. Cass found me in the break room with my back against the vending machine, breathing like I'd run a mile. She didn't ask what was wrong. She just slid a cup of water into my hand. Drink, she said. I stared at the message request on my phone. Someone texted me. Cass leaned on the counter. Bad someone or helpful someone? I don't know, I whispered. It says Eli was pushed. Cass's eyes sharpened. Pushed how? I don't know. My thumb hovered over the screen. There's a voice note. Cass nodded once. Play it, I'll stay. My finger trembled as I tapped it. Ellie's voice filled the tiny speaker, low and controlled, but not whole. Mara, he said, like my name hurt. I trusted you. I squeezed the cup so hard it crinkled, and I hate myself for still wanting to. He continued. My breath hitched. Cass's hand moved to my shoulder, light pressure. Ellie's voice dropped. You didn't even look scared. You said it was fine. A pause. Then, faint in the background. A soft laugh, not loud, not obvious, like someone enjoying a private joke. My stomach turned. Ellie's voice came back, thinner. Don't look for me. The audio cut off. I stared at the screen like it might change into something kinder. That laugh, I whispered. Cass's voice was careful. Do you know it? It sounded like I couldn't finish. Cass didn't push. Who would be around him? My mouth went dry. Jace? Cass's eyebrows lifted. Your best friend Jace? I nodded. Shame crawling up my throat. He was at Jace's place. That's where I slept. What if Jace sent him something? What if he? Cass held up a hand. Slow down. What's your next move? My hands shook as I stood. I'm going to him. Cass grabbed her keys. I'm coming. No. I said quickly, if I'm wrong, if you're wrong, you'll need someone to pull you out before you say something you can't take back. Cass said, if you're right, you'll need a witness. We drove in tense silence. By the time we got to Jace's building, my skin felt too tight. Jace opened the door with a grin that slipped the second he saw my face. Ho, what's this? I stepped inside, voice low. Did you contact Eli? Jace's eyes narrowed. No. Don't lie, I said. Did you send him something? Did you call him? Jace laughed once, sharp. You're losing it. I held up my phone. I heard you. His smile vanished. He sent you a voice note? There's a laugh in the background, I said. It sounds like you. Jace's jaw clenched. That could be anyone. Say you didn't, I demanded. Say it to my face. Jace took a step closer and the warmth I used to feel around him turned cold. You're paranoid, he said. And you're desperate. Cass's voice cut in, calm but firm. Answer her. Jace's eyes flicked to Cass. Annoyed, this is none of your business. It became my business when you started playing games, Cass said. Jace's gaze snapped back to me. And his voice dropped. You're lucky Eli left quietly, he said. Some men don't. The way he said it made my blood run cold, like he'd been waiting to say it. I didn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard Ellie's voice again. Don't look for me. By morning, my fear had turned into something harder. Nina watched me pull on a jacket with stiff movements. Where are you going? The police. I said. Nina blinked. Mara, are you serious? Yes, I snapped. Then my voice cracked. I don't know where he is. Nina grabbed her phone. I'm coming at the station. The air smelled like old coffee and tired people. A man with a plain face and sharp eyes approached the desk. Detective Halden, he said. You called about a missing person? I nodded too fast. My boyfriend, Eli. He left last night and he didn't say anything. Detective Halden led us to a small room and sat across from me. How old is he? 26, I said. Any history of disappearing? He asked. No, I said. He's not like that. He tapped his pen once. Any recent conflicts? I swallowed. Yes. Nina's foot tapped beside me, steady like a metronome. Detective Halden leaned back. Tell me the conflict. I forced the words out. I slept in the same bed as my male best friend. Halden's expression didn't change. And you told Eli? Yes, I whispered. He said okay and left while I was asleep. Halden nodded slowly. Who benefits from him being gone? The question made my stomach drop. I heard my own voice say, Jace. Immediately, guilt shot through me, hot and sharp. But he's my best friend. I don't want to. Halden cut in. Good people don't need you to protect them from questions. Nina murmured, thank you, like someone finally said what she'd been trying to. Halden's gaze stayed on me. What's Jace's full name and address? I gave it, hating myself for every syllable. Nina pulled up the building chat and slid her phone across the table. We have a security still. Eli leaving at 3:12 a.m. Halden studied it. Good, that's something. My voice shook. Is he in danger? Halden's face softened just a fraction. We treat every missing person as potentially at risk until proven otherwise. I squeezed my hands together. He wouldn't hurt himself. Halden didn't promise anything. Does he have a car? Yes, I said. Halden stood. We'll run the plate. We'll check hospitals. We'll check recent transactions if we can. What about his phone? I asked. We'll request location data, Halden said, if it's on. Nina and I waited in a hallway that felt too bright. My phone kept buzzing with messages I didn't want. Jace, where are you? Jace, don't do something stupid. Detective Halden returned with a grim look. His phone was turned off near the riverfront last night. The words sucked the air out of me. I pictured water, black and cold. I pictured Eli walking toward it with that small bag. I whispered. That can't be the last place. Nina grabbed my arm. Mara, breathe. But all I could think was, what if my it's fine was the last thing I gave him? Leah found me outside my building like she'd been waiting for the right moment to haunt me. She stepped out of a car I didn't recognize, hands in her coat pockets, eyes tired. She wasn't smiling. Mara, she asked. My body went rigid. Who are you? She swallowed. Leah, Ellie's ex. The ground felt unsteady. Why are you here? Because Rook called me, she said, and because Eli is missing. He's not missing, I snapped. Then my voice broke. He's gone. Leah looked at me for a long second. Same thing, sometimes. I folded my arms like that could hold me together. What do you want from me? To tell you what he won't, Leah said. I laughed once, bitter. He won't tell me anything. He erased himself. Leah nodded slowly. That's what he does when he feels humiliated. The word hit hard. I didn't humiliate him. Leah's eyes didn't accuse. They just held facts. You don't get to decide what hurt him. My throat tightened. He left because I slept in a bed. No, Leah said. He left because he saw a pattern and refused to be the fool inside it. I stared at her. What pattern? Leah exhaled like she hated remembering. Eli grew up watching his mom forgive his dad for cheating. Over and over, each time she begged, each time he promised it would stop. My stomach turned. That's awful. It taught Eli something, Leah continued. He decided young he would never beg like that. He would never stay. When he felt replaced, I whispered. I didn't replace him. Leah's gaze sharpened. Did you make him feel first? Silence answered for me. Leah took a step closer. There's another thing. What? My voice came out rough. She hesitated, then said, Jace tried to get close to me 2 years ago. When I was with Eli, my skin prickled. What? He was friendly, Leah said, helpful. Always there when Eli and I fought. He'd say, Eli doesn't understand you. Eli is too cold. The words made my head spin because they sounded too familiar. Leah watched my face change. He doesn't steal people with force, she said softly. He steals them with stories. I swallowed hard. Why didn't you tell Eli? Leah's mouth tightened. I did. He didn't want to believe it. He wanted peace. My chest hurt. So what now? Leah's voice dropped. Now you decide if you're still listening to Jace's story or your own. Asterisk Detective Halden called at 6:40 a.m., and my whole body jolted like the ringtone was a gunshot. I answered on the first ring. Hello, Mara, Halden said. We found him. My knees almost gave out. Alive, yes, he replied. He didn't go into the river. My breath came out in a sob. I couldn't stop. Where is he? He checked into a motel under a different name, Halden said, arranged through his brother. Mr. Rook, of course, Halden added. He didn't want to be found, but he agreed to speak once. I swallowed hard. Once, an hour later. I stood across the street from a cheap motel that looked like it had given up on itself. Mr. Rook waited near a parked car, arms folded. He'll come out, Rook said. Don't chase him. I'm not here to chase, I muttered. I'm here to stop bleeding. Rook's gaze flicked over me. Then don't lie. The door opened. Eli stepped out. And my chest clenched. He looked older, not messy, not ruined, just emptied out. I took one step forward. Eli, he stopped like the sound of my voice had weight. Mara, I'm sorry, I said quickly. I'm so sorry, I didn't. Don't, he cut in, calm and deadly. Don't stack words on top of it. My throat burned. I didn't cheat. He stared at me. I didn't leave because you slept in a bed. I flinched. He continued. Voice low. I left because you didn't care that it could break me. You said it was fine, like my feelings were a problem to manage. Tears spilled before I could stop them. I was scared you'd leave. Ellie's mouth twisted slightly. So you pushed first. I shook my head. I liked being chosen. I admitted, voice shaking. By you and by him. I liked the attention. I liked the safety. And I hate myself for that. Eli nodded once, like he'd already known. That's the truth. Can we fix it? I whispered. Ellie's eyes softened. And that was somehow worse. Not anymore. He turned away. Panic surged. Eli, he didn't stop. Find yourself, Mara. When he got into Rook's car, the door shut with a quiet final sound. I pulled out my phone. Hands steady for the first time in days. I opened Jace's chat. Jace, don't blame me for this. I didn't reply. I blocked him. And as the sun rose, I realized revenge wasn't yelling or winning. It was choosing who I would become next.